Entering vertical time. Entering vertical time is a stage of awakening, and but one stage in the ever-evolving process of enlightenment. It is sometimes a radical wake-up call to the fact that the familiar world is an illusion and a drama being carried out by your ego or imagined self. This is where the linear storyline of this small, imagined self ends, and an experience of satori, or early stage of enlightenment, takes hold. This usually involves some sort of trigger event, through a teaching or a teacher, a life-changing event, an encounter of some kind that is a reality shift, or even a great loss. Consciousness expands in this early stage of enlightenment in such a way that there is still a sense of physical, measured or clock time, and psychological time, which is felt or sensed time. But there is a level of your perception viewing time from a higher, eternal now or vertical perspective. You feel yourself keenly in the drama or play being dreamed by the small self, which is a linear experience of time, while at the same time, you feel and sense your God self, your highest oversoul aspect, talking to you, communicating to you, resonating down to the subatomic level of your being and rippling back out to the cosmos. It's like a swift spiritual kick to the head, and you are forever changed by this event, awake to the point of no return. This abrupt and sometimes rude awakening always and ever coincides with a different and forever changed relationship with the material plane and the time and space that you've known and that you've used as tools to stabilize your reality. Your previous level of reality was allowed to feel real to you and familiar to you because of your familiarity with this material plane. And once that shifts, your reality shifts. You feel frequent breaks and suspensions in time. Your basic human existence feels like a blip on a screen, punctuating about one singular event in the eternal now and the eternal infinite flow of the now moment. You are beyond just the intellectual understanding that there is a divine order directing the symphony of the all that is. Rather, you navigate in and out of the timeless state, bouncing in and out of varying states and bliss and dark nights of the soul, awake, yet still feeling caught in the contrast and drama of duality, until you proceed to the next stage of your evolution of enlightenment, which is developing a strong spiritual practice, dedicating yourself to deepen your initial awakening, and eventually attaining an emotional intelligence and mastery of your emotions, so that the ego you, the imagined self, isn't so locked down into the consciousness loops that define you and your previous reality and your previous relationship with all that is. Practicing some sort of spiritual dedication allows you to reach a mastery. This involves knowing that you are never without darkness, dark nights of the soul. We're not here to eradicate shadow. We're here to remember who we are above it. You rise above and remember how to exist above this level, above the ego, above time. In other words, you practice until you remember how to live at the level of the higher God-self perspective, where you live in and can communicate with the familiar world, but you're no longer of it necessarily. The material and form of this world becomes more functional, malleable, elastic, and subject to change for you. You realize, in other words, that you truly are the creator of your reality, moment to moment, thought to thought, feeling to feeling, belief to belief, action to action. Because you're aware of this plane being one giant playground of impermanence. No feeling is final. No situation is final, because that is not the nature of 3D. The illusory, fleeting, and temporary blip in the dream of the cosmic mind becomes more of an awareness to you, something that you get to play with more and have mastery over with greater practice and dedication. This is what it's like to practice with bending and manipulating time. With this practice, once mastered, you move on to the next stage of your spiritual progression. You progress to exploring the universe without boundary or restraint, no matter what the body is able to do, because you've refined your vibration of consciousness to exist beyond the body, beyond the mind, to travel in parallel dimensions, realms, space, and time in an avatar self state. This allows you to navigate past the boundaries of 5D, 6D, 7D, enter the gateways of 8D and 9D passageways, beyond duality, beyond locality. This is all at our threshold, at our doorstep. This ability to play with the malleable and elastic nature of reality. We're finally coming to understand that we are the keepers of 3D. We are the ones that say what comes and goes in reality here, and none of it is fixed.